and once in a great while, all of the above. Take your seat in the incomparable Audi A8, the highest-ranked vehicle appeal among large premium cars by J.D. Power & Associates.
Now, New York's #1 news. Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Earlier today, I went shopping at some stores in Midtown. I understand Governor Romney went shopping for some stores in Midtown.
In the spirit of Sesame Street, the president's remarks tonight are brought to you by the letter O and the number 16 trillion.
The candidates as comedians, Barack Obama and Mitt Romney, tonight breaking bread and then pulling out the sharp knives at a charity event in New York.
Plus, a head football coach accused of doing nothing when someone on his team is accused of inappropriate sexual behavior. Sound familiar? This latest incident in our area. Good evening at 11 o'clock. I'm Sade Better-Noir.
And I'm Bill Ritter. Those stories in a moment, but we're going to begin with weather. A messy storm heading our way just in time for the morning commute.
Meteorologist Lee Goldberg tracking the storm. He's at the weather wall. Lee?
Well, dry pavement now will be replaced by soaked pavement and puddles that you'll have to drive through and hop over, especially at the intersection. You'll have to have all your rain gear. The first sprinkles starting to show up on radar. It's nothing heavy right now. It's a little steady over Monmouth and Ocean. The first sprinkles over the 5 boroughs right now. Nothing particularly heavy, but there's some very heavy rainfall and thunderstorms over eastern Pennsylvania. There's another batch offshore. Right now we're snuggled in the middle, but this is all going to fill in by about 3 or 4 in the morning. It's going to really go to town during the morning commute. It's basically custom built for the morning commute with the heaviest rainfall coming down very heavily at times, even some rumbles of thunder, and then it'll become more scattered during the afternoon hours. So here's what you need to know. All your rain gear for the morning rush. Heavy downpours can cause street and highway floodings. There'll be isolated amounts up to 2 inches of rainfall. And clear those storm drains during the day. Watch out for the wet leaves. They're going to make roadways especially slippery during the day. So it's a soaking rainstorm, and it's targeting the morning commute. We'll have much more on that in your 7-day AccuWeather forecast in just a few minutes. Bill?
All right, we will see in a few minutes. And make sure you keep your set right on Channel 7 so you get the latest on this storm and traffic information when you wake up tomorrow morning. Lori Stokes, Ken Rosado, Bill Evans, and Joe Noel will be on the air for you at 4:30.
New details in that massive crash that claimed the life of a Nassau County cop. A 25-year-old driver is under arrest tonight. Joseph Oliveri was killed when responding to an accident on the Long Island Expressway. An SUV hit one of the cars involved, and that vehicle struck Officer Oliveri. Now the driver of the car that caused the initial accident charged with vehicular manslaughter and drunken driving. James Ryan will be arraigned tomorrow.
New at 11, a school's head football coach accused of covering up inappropriate sexual behavior on campus. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Well, this time it's happening in New Jersey. A high school football coach suspended and facing criminal charges. The school is in Jersey City, and tonight his team is rallying behind him. Eyewitness News reporter Jeff Pagage with the story. He's on campus for us. Jeffrey.
And Bill, Coach Robert Hampton has a lot of support in this community. Around here, he's known for leading one of the state's top-ranked football programs, but these allegations threaten to overshadow all of that. They could not only tarnish his reputation, but he could also end up behind bars.
He has the support of his team.
Tonight, members of the Lincoln High School football team sat in silence at this school board meeting. Teenagers taking a stand, protesting the suspension of their head coach, whose sister says she's praying that the truth will prevail.
He did the right thing, and it will come out.
Coach Robert Hampton has been accused of turning a blind eye to allegations of sexual assault. Hudson County prosecutors allege that the coach did not report to police a Lincoln High School female athlete's accusations of fondling against one of the school's star football players, senior wide receiver Stephen Jones, who's been charged in the case. According to prosecutors, on July 30th, the 15-year-old female athlete told investigators that she was fondled in a room at the school. She accused Jones, and then investigators say she told Hampton. But 2 months later, the allegations still had not been reported to the proper authorities until this month when the girl and her mother went to the cops. School officials have declined to comment, and Coach Hampton referred us to his attorney, who told us, quote, "I think he's being made a scapegoat." Hampton's attorney says the coach met with the girl and her mother and advised the mother of her options. And he says the coach didn't go to police because he didn't have enough information. Then he told us, referring to the Penn State scandal, quote, "I think with all this going around with the Sandusky case, I think people are being ultra sensitive about all of these allegations." After about 30 minutes, the football players walked out of the school board meeting tonight without saying a word, hoping their actions would speak volumes about how they feel. And prosecutors say their investigation continues, and that is something that Robert Hampton's attorney seems to welcome because he says his client was not there when this incident occurred. He says his client was out on disability. The attorney also says that the coach reported the incident when he found out about it to other school officials. We're live in Jersey City. Jeff Pegues, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Jeff, thank you. Also in New Jersey, police setting up random checkpoints hoping to catch a predator targeting children. Police releasing this sketch of the man wanted for an attempted luring. There have been at least 8 children targeted in recent weeks. Cops handed out flyers tonight at informational roadblocks after a man tried to get a 13-year-old girl walking to school into his car.
There is new information and disturbing questions tonight about how the man charged in the alleged plot to bomb the Federal Reserve in Lower Manhattan was allowed to stay in the United States. 21-year-old Qazi Ahsan Nafis came from Bangladesh on a student visa to study in Missouri. He then transferred to ASA Vocational College here in Manhattan, where police say he was a part-time student. But his visa requires full-time enrollment. Now the question, how was he allowed to stay?
No pretty way to cover up the ugly reality tonight for the New York Yankees. This is a team that collapsed. 4 straight losses to the Detroit Tigers. The Bronx Bombers, not exactly. The team that bombed in the playoffs, much more accurate. So what happens now to the Yankees? Rob Powers is here with the lowlights. Rob?
Sade, what started April 6th is now over. Actually, if you count high hopes and expectations, the Yankee season began much earlier than April. And if you count letdowns and disappointments, it ended long before tonight. The playoff run ends in Detroit. The Yanks swept in the postseason for the first time in 32 years. Bats quiet again. Only 2 hits for the Yanks. The batting average in the series, 157. They hit 188 in the playoffs, worst ever. Ace pitcher CC Sabathia gave up 6 runs on 11 hits in less than 4 full innings. Couple of home runs, too. This was ugly early and often. Everybody knows Alex Rodriguez was benched the last 2 games. He pinch hit in the 6th inning tonight and flew out with runners on base. A-Rod 3 for 25 in the postseason. Yankees lose the game 8-1. Best record in the AL, swept in the ALCS. Tigers move on to the World Series. The Yanks move on now to the offseason. 6 runs in 4 games. It's going to be one interesting offseason. Surgery for Derek Jeter Saturday. What happens with A-Rod, Mo, Andy, Swish, Ichiro, Cano, the fans? That one we can get to now. Jim Dolan is live in the Bronx right now with more. Jim?
Rob, nobody knows the troubles I've seen, unless you watch the Yankees this week, that is. Unless you watch Derek Jeter carried off the field and watch Robinson Cano hold his bat like it was some kind of unsolvable Egyptian riddle. It's not supposed to be like this in the Bronx in October, empty and cold. But the baseball season is over. Let the winter blues begin. Give Vanessa credit. She held out hope until the bitter, and it was a bitter end.
I know they're still going to win.
No, Vanessa, they're not. There were no Yankee miracles tonight, and every sports bar in town was packed with folks who knew exactly why.
A-Rod was, yes, sucked a little bit this series, I agree, but so did everybody else.
A-Rod hasn't done nothing. A lot of players haven't done nothing. We expected them to come out.
They waited for Jeter.
Jeter got hurt. It's been a disappointing series.
And so it went into the night and into the 9th. A-Rod grounds out. Nix pops up. And the season is quite tearfully over. We got a little perspective tonight. We ran into a Cubs fan. Those guys haven't won anything in 104 years, but of course the Cubs are not the Yankees. Oh, and we got some good news at the end of the game. Alex Rodriguez says he wants to return to the Yankees next year. In the Bronx, reporting live, Jim Dolan, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Jim, thank you oh so much. The Yankees season ends tonight with a whimper, swept by the Tigers in the ALCS. Bill, swept right into the offseason.
That was some kind of routine, but this next routine, Rob's also a routine. The race for the White House tonight running right through the Waldorf. Barack Obama and Mitt Romney verbally slugging it out 48 hours ago. Tonight, together, yucking it up. Both men were funny at the Al Smith dinner, but behind all that humor was some pretty tough politics. This was not a night for the weak. Political reporter Dave Evans at the Waldorf with the story. David?
Well, Bill, actually, there was some controversy about the event here in Midtown tonight. A few Catholic groups thought that Barack Obama should not be invited to this event because of his position on issues like gay marriage and abortion. But it's a tradition at the Al Smith dinner for the candidates to kind of put their differences aside for one evening, to break bread together and try to make the crowd here laugh about yourself and the other guy. Governor Romney went first and noted at this event he's supposed to be funny.
I was actually hoping the president would bring Joe Biden along this evening, because he'll laugh at anything.
Referring to their first debate, Romney couldn't help but remind this crowd about PBS and Big Bird.
And by the way, in the spirit of Sesame Street, the president's remarks tonight are brought to you by the letter O and the number 16 trillion.
And he wrapped up by thanking his biggest supporter, someone he can really depend on.
Someone who we can lean on, and someone who's a comforting presence without whom we wouldn't be able to go another day. I have my beautiful wife, Ann. He has Bill Clinton.
Then the president went next and noted just how unusual both their names are. Romney's first name, after all, is Willard.
Actually, Mitt is his middle name. I wish I could use my middle name.
On the debates, Obama noted how badly that first one went.
As some of you may have noticed, I had a lot more energy in our second debate. I felt really well rested after the nice long nap I had in the first debate.
And then Obama scored a political point, but even Republicans in this crowd were able to laugh.
The unemployment rate is at its lowest level since I took office. I don't have a joke here. I just thought it would be useful to remind everybody.
And the goal here is not just to see simply which candidate is funnier. It's also to raise money for charity. Tonight, about $5 million raised for different charities in the Catholic Archdiocese of New York. Reporting live in Midtown, Dave Evans, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
That's great, and they were both very funny. Well, as we continue on this Thursday night, all those orange New York City parking tickets.
Millions of dollars in unpaid parking tickets, and we're not talking about the little guy. I'm Carolina Lead with the story coming up.
And look at these faces. They just got here and they need good homes. And the stormy commute to work tomorrow, meteorologist Lee Goldberg returns with your AccuWeather forecast.
It's the one preventable trip to the ER you can talk to your kids about right now. Tomorrow at 5, Eyewitness News shows you the one common mistake that lands thousands of teens in the hospital every year. How you can stop it before it happens. Tomorrow at 5 on Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Saturday Night Football, presented by Windows, all season long on ABC.
Don't miss Florida State take on rival Miami. Saturday at 8, only on ABC7. Sponsored locally by Toyota.
I had a patient that we operated on for Ewing sarcoma. She's 23 years, cancer-free. The average orthopedic surgeon sees between 1 and 1.5 of these in their practicing lifetime. I saw 6 this afternoon. I live for the opportunity to cure this disease.
On Broadway, there's one place where the party never stops. Mamma Mia, the musical that's had audiences dancing in the aisles for 10 unforgettable years, now invites you to get up on your feet and get in on the fun. So join the party today. Visit telecharge.com for your tickets and let yourself go to Mamma Mia.
This Halloween,
I didn't do that.
The #1 comedy 3 weeks in a row.
Is there like a costume party here?
Is a real treat. Hotel Transylvania, rated PG.
The first look is only the beginning. Introducing a stunning work of technology. Introducing the entirely new Lexus ES and the first ever ES Hybrid. Lease the 2013 ES350 for $429 a month for 27 months, with $39.79 due at signing. See your Lexus dealer.
For anyone who's ever received and had to pay a parking ticket tonight, a story that might make you furious.
Huge corporations tonight on a list of parking ticket scofflaws. The New York City Comptroller says they owe more than $9 million reportedly in unpaid tickets.
But does everything really add up? Here's Eyewitness News reporter Carolina Lead.
All we had to do was whisper the words parking ticket, and New Yorkers had plenty to say. And we got an earful at just the mention of big companies with unpaid parking tickets.
I've been hammered with parking tickets, and I pay them. They should pay them too.
New York City Comptroller John Liu says the biggest offenders since April were Federal Express at just under $1 million, Verizon just shy of $500,000, Frito-Lay at over $200,000, and Anheuser-Busch at $169,000.
People are just outraged, angered at the constant ticket blitzes they are faced with. And now we find that the city is letting these big companies off the hook.
For example, 20 companies went from nearly $4 million in fines to $923,000. Liu says pursue civil judgments, deny registrations, and tow vehicles.
It looks like the Department of Finance is already putting together a system in response to our audit.
But the Department of Finance says the audit is not accurate. The fact is, Finance has collected 99% of the revenue associated with fines issued to companies enrolled in this program over the past 2 years. For its part, Verizon says the company is billed and subsequently pays in a timely manner all valid parking tickets. And FedEx Express says it paid more than $2 million to the city in the months of June through August alone. Either way, some residents feel it's a double standard.
And I've gotten tickets, and they've made sure that I've had to pay those tickets. It's very unjust.
I'm Carolina Lead, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
New tonight, dozens of rescued dogs from puppy mills in the Midwest now looking for new homes on Long Island. More than 60 puppies and dogs saved by the Animal League of America. They arrived tonight from commercial breeding operations in Missouri and Kansas. By the way, for more information on how to adopt these dogs, just go to our website, 7 Online, click on the Long Island section.
A lot of cute dogs there.
Yeah.
And Levy, you're back. Can't even talk. I'm tongue-tied because I'm thinking about all those storms that are headed our way.
Yeah,
it's
not
gonna be a serious commute tomorrow.
Not the free-flowing Friday morning commute we would like. It's really going to be soaked by sunrise. Think mass transit. Think a lot of extra time. Pack your patience tomorrow morning. We'll get better. So outside we go, where we have what is a pretty evening. It's been nice. The Empire State Building in yellow for the after-school Alliance. That's the only yellow you'll see right through tomorrow. There'll be no sunshine in the sky. And visibility is great now, but it'll only diminish by sunrise. I mean, the rain will be heavy enough to limit visibility. I mean, you'll be slowing down and maybe even turning the hazards on at times tomorrow morning because it really could get heavy. We're at 62. Easterly wind at 7. The pressure's on the fall. And the high today was a very nice day at 65 degrees above average. There are your sunrise and sunset times for tomorrow. There's also a coastal flood advisory, persistent wind on shore, times of high tide, western end of Long Island Sound, New York Harbor, also south shore of Nassau County through early afternoon tomorrow. So it's a messy morning commute. I think the worst of the weather is through early afternoon. It's more showery and scattered later in the afternoon. The evening commute isn't as bad, probably still damp though. And the storm exits just in time for a nice weekend. So here's a planner for you, really important. Heavy rain at 7 o'clock in the morning. Temperature's not the problem. It's mild. And pockets of heavy rain will last into, let's say, early afternoon, and then it'll be more scattered later in the day. You'll notice in general the winds are out of the east-southeast about 6 to 12. In some of the gusty thunderstorms, the winds could gust up to 40 miles an hour. There could be some pretty strong winds inside some of these storms, so be ready for that if it really comes down heavy. Right now, we're just getting started, laying the foundation for this. There's heavier showers offshore and then to our west, but a few more showers over Monmouth, getting a little heavier. These are big-time thunderstorms just north of D.C., and that's what's trying to curl in right now. It's part of a massive storm that has a wingspan of about 1,300 miles. Now, we're most concerned about the eastern side of this storm. There's a low that's forming over northern Virginia, and that's actually going to make a beeline right toward the tri-state area. So see all this open area right here? That'll all fill in with rainfall and head our way after 3 or 4 in the morning. And there have been some storm reports with this. I mean, some gusty thunderstorms causing a little bit of damage, so I do have to be aware of that, or you do have to be aware of that during the morning hours especially. So notice how the radar's filling in after 3 or 4 in the morning. Very heavy, unfortunately, bad timing for the morning commute, ponding on area roadways, slippery conditions. And then after early afternoon, it'll get more widely scattered. Wouldn't be surprised to even see some brightening off to the west. And then the evening commute won't be as bad. Might still be some puddles off to the north. Futurecast estimated rainfall amounts. Don't look at any one particular area, but just the idea that there's 1 to 2 inch amounts in this area can occur means there will be flooding across the area tomorrow. It's a very stormy start. A little improvement later in the day. We'll wait for the weekend for the sun to come back. Saturday's actually a very nice day. Early fog, then sun, maybe a late day shower, and Sunday's breezy with a mix of sun and clouds and a great day. So 7 a.m. it's not pretty. Soaking rain, rumbles of thunder, flooding possible about 63. For tomorrow, morning rain and thunder, and then just afternoon scattered showers. So the morning through early afternoon is worse. The showers wind down quickly, partial clearing, areas of fog, and the weekend's much better. Near 70 when the sun comes out on Saturday. Mix of sun and clouds, a little breezy, sunny for making strides and the Alzheimer's walk, and then into the 70s early next week. Jeff Smith will have his handful, and so will all the reporters in the Eyewitness News team tomorrow morning. Keep it right here.
Okay, thank you, Lee.
Thank you, Lee. Coming up next, no breakfast tomorrow? Wait to see how it affects your diet the rest of the day. And imagine, stuck in this boat for days, lost at sea.
Your best New York morning start right here.
And right here.
Eyewitness News this morning and Good Morning America.
Closed captioning sponsored by Optimum. We're your TV, phone, and internet company.
If you think you have to trade power for fuel economy, think again. Lincoln MKX. Now it gets interesting.
Everyone said the 9/11 health bill couldn't get done.
But Senator Gillibrand took on the fight by working with 9/11 responders and their families.
My husband John was a firefighter who dug through the rubble at the World Trade Center.
For Kirsten, it was never a Democratic or Republican issue. For her, it was personal.
John had recently died of cancer, and I knew that he was sitting on Kirsten's shoulder when she got that bill passed.
It was because of their courage that we passed the bill.
When everyone else gave up on us, she never did.
I'm Kirsten Gillibrand, and I approve this message.
Life should be equal parts responsibility and fun. Introducing the new Acura ILX. Move up without settling down.
People, look at you! Texting, blogging, all this technology, but you're still banking like pilgrims!
Get high yield free checking at Capital One Bank!
Why earn bupkis when your checking could earn 5 times the national average and free ATMs anywhere? 5 times the national average. That's new school banking.
Sign up for high yield free checking at a Capital One Bank.
What's in your wallet? Somebody help me down.
If you think you have to trade power for fuel economy, think again. Lincoln MKX. Now it gets interesting.
Eyewitness News needs your help to protect our children. Have you seen Alfred? ABC 7 and Empire Today, thank you for helping protect our children.
Lost at sea, 3 fishermen are safe after drifting for 5 days.
They had no food, and they ran out of water just hours before they were rescued. The 3 men departed the Gilbert Islands of the Pacific Ocean Friday in a 17-foot boat. That is small. Engine trouble then stranded them just a few miles from shore. The boat had no oars, no paddles. That caused them to drift some 80 miles out to sea before they were spotted by an air crew.
In tonight's Health Alert, one more reason not to skip breakfast tomorrow morning. A new study shows that missing breakfast affects the brain's response to food. It makes people crave fatty, high-calorie snacks and sweets later in the day, and that, of course, makes it tougher to lose weight. Eating breakfast is also known to help control sugar levels, regulate appetite, and boost energy.
Maybe that's what was wrong with the Yankees. They weren't eating breakfast.
That was the most important meal of the day. You know, Yogi Berra is the one who said it ain't over till it's over, right? It's over. Yankees run at another world title ends in bitter defeat. Straight ahead, what happened tonight on the field and in the clubhouse. We have highlights, we have reaction, we have disappointment. Next.
Looks like leather, but it's not. It's a unique fabric. Looks like an ordinary sofa and love seat, but it's not. There's 4 built-in recliners. Looks expensive, but it's not. Now only $9.99, and that's for both pieces.
We're thinking about this or the Honda Odyssey next door.
This one.
But the Odyssey has the best resale value in its class, according to KBB.com.
I wouldn't put too much value on cyber opinions.
And the Odyssey Touring is the most fuel-efficient 8-passenger minivan.
I wouldn't put too much value on things like that either.
It's actual research.
Don't give anybody a blog these days.
We'll see you later.
The Odyssey from Honda. Named most trusted brand in America by KBB.com. Only a Honda is a Honda.
Connoisseurs of flavor. Experts in aroma. They're the World Championship cheese judges. And while they might seem kind of odd to you, like this guy, we just love them. And at the 2012 championship, they awarded Cracker Barrel Gold for Cheddar for its rich, full flavor. Thanks, cheese geniuses. Cracker Barrel. It's cheddar perfected.
What's more surprising? The fact that the 2012 Volvo S60 earned the highest rating in the new IIHS small overlap test? Or the fact that both the Mercedes C-Class and the Audi A4 earned a poor rating in the same test? Something to think about. Safety. It's one of the many ways a Volvo is designed around you.
Right now, get $1,000 off your Volvo S60 when you own a competitor's car. Contact your local Volvo retailer for details.
Who takes $1 million in salary but missed nearly 80% of his committee hearings during the financial crisis? Congressman Chris Murphy. He skipped hearings on job creation while unemployment skyrocketed, and after 6 years in Congress, he still has no jobs plan. Now Murphy wants a promotion to the Senate? He must be kidding. Linda McMahon is the only candidate with a detailed plan to cut middle-class taxes and create the jobs Connecticut needs.
I'm Linda McMahon, and I approve this message.
Everybody turns to check out the 2013 Sonata, and now we've turned its price into a crowd pleaser too. During Hyundai's Savings at Every Turn sales event, you can get a Sonata for not $199, not $189, but $179 a month or 0.9% APR. Plus, you'll get an EPA estimated 35 mpg highway. Turn today into the day you get a Sonata for $179 a month or 0.9% APR. Hurry to your Hyundai dealer now. The Savings at Every Turn sales event ends October 31st.
Want to save mucho money? Gotcha. Bonded leather sofa, only $3.99. Want to save even more? Gotcha. Sofa and love seat, only $6.99. Want gimmick-free financing with no money down? Gotcha.
So big changes next year?
We'll find out this offseason. Nothing tonight. The numbers are out of this world. 9 games, 320 at-bats, 60 hits, a 188 batting average. For teams that played at least 7 postseason games, that's the lowest. That's the Yankees. A team used to making playoff history makes it tonight for all the wrong reasons. Swept in 4 straight. This has to go down as one of the most tumultuous weeks in Yankee history. Nothing went right. They pitched CeCe, and CeCe got shelled. 11 hits, 5 earned runs in less than 4 innings. He said it's embarrassing. How should the offense feel? Yanks hit 188 in the playoffs, 157 in the series. A-Rod hit twice, went 0 for 2, finished 3 for 25 in the playoffs. Curtis Granderson, 3 for 30. Nick Swisher, 5 for 30. Robbie Cano, 3 for 40. 8-1. Yanks lose tonight. Only 2 hits. Only 6 runs the entire series. Swept in a playoff series for the first time in 32 years. The Tigers advance to the World Series at the Yankees' expense. And if you wondered how somber the mood was in the Yankee clubhouse, wonder no more. Laura Banke live in Detroit with player reaction. Laura.
Hey, Rob, the Yankees may have boasted the second best offense in baseball in the regular season, but their bats failed them when they needed it most, and tonight so did the pitching. Title 28 will have to wait.
You know, just one of those nights. Couldn't get it going.
It's tough because you want to win. You want to give everything you have. There's a lot of uncertainties with a lot of guys in here. And this could be the last time that this team's ever together. So we wanted to try and go out with a bang and do it our way, and just didn't work out for us.
Look, I know it's difficult for Joe. I mean, I know Joe
didn't want to sit me. It's something that's not easy for him. But again, if I do what I do, Joe doesn't have a choice. Neither does Cashman, neither does anybody. If I am who I know I can be, then they'll worry about other guys.
As for the future of Alex Rodriguez, tonight A-Rod saying he wants to remain in New York. As for Brian Cashman, he says next season he believes Alex will be a Yankee. We are with the Yankees live outside Comerica Park in Detroit. Laura Banky, Channel 7 Eyewitness News. Rob?
All right, Laura, thank you very much. Safe travels home. What an ugly night and an ugly postseason. It's over. The NBA preseason just begun in Brooklyn. Nets, Celtics. Second half of a home-and-home series. The Nets trying to stay unbeaten this preseason, but oh, they had trouble. Brook Lopez did pitch in. He had 14 points. But Courtney Lee paced the Celtics. He had 18. This was never close. The Nets lose 115-85. They go to 3-1 in the preseason. Locked out NHL players have made 3 counteroffers to the league's latest labor proposal. The commissioner says not one is good enough.
Despite what we did on Tuesday, we were done in an hour today because there was really nothing there.
I had hoped, that the approaches we've taken today would put us within range. So far, apparently, it's not true.
The lockout continues and time is running out. You betcha. Thanks, Rob.
Thanks, Rob. We'll be right back.
This is the best day of my life. Literally, the best day of my life. Still a good day.
It's the first ever BMW certified pre-owned sales event. Hurry in for exceptional offers through BMW Financial Services.
It's Macy's one-day sale Saturday, preview day Friday. Buy a mattress and get a matching box spring for $1 from Sealy, Serta, and Beauty Rest. Get a Sealy Cushion Firm Queen Set for $299 or a Serta Perfect Sleeper Plush Queen Set just $399. Shop our stores, go to Macy's.com or call 1-800-MACY-BED. Macy's one-day sale Saturday, preview day Friday. That's the magic of Macy's.
St. Francis Hospital, named one of the country's best hospitals for cardiology and heart surgery. Again, and again, and again, and again, and again. For the 6th consecutive year, St. Francis was named Best Hospital on Long Island and one of the best in the country for cardiology and heart surgery by U.S. News & World Report. And as much as we love to hear that, our patients love it even more. St. Francis Hospital, the Heart Center.
I don't know how many people in the United States Senate grew up in a place like this, but I did. There was a real sense of family, a real sense of love. I still just live a few miles from here. So I know why protecting good jobs or preserving health care for families and children matters. Because this is where I come from, and this is who I am. I'm Senator Bob Menendez, and I approve this message.
Haley, I'm stuck!
We do our best work behind the scenes. We're Optimum. All 17,000 of us are here to make sure your TV, phone, and internet are working how you want them to work. With the best products, service, and technology you won't spend too much time thinking about. Because you have something more important to think about. Everything else.
Vehicle stability control, electronic brake force distribution, traction control, and brake assist. All standard on the Toyota Corolla. But do you really need all that safety stuff? Yeah, you do.
When you lease the fuel-efficient 2012 Corolla for just $159 a month or get 0% APR financing on Corolla, you get a lot for less. Toyota.
Who says you can't go home again?
Hi, I'm Jimmy Kimmel. I'm busy packing for my trip to Brooklyn, and I'm bringing everything just to be safe. Get your foot in there.
Jimmy Kimmel Live, back to Brooklyn, starting Monday, October 29th, late night on ABC.
Eyewitness News this morning. It's everything you need to get your day going. With more AccuWeather and traffic updates more often. Real-time commuter alerts right when you need them. And more reporters covering more local stories. Channel 7 Eyewitness News this morning. It's everything you need.
that's the news for now. I'm Sade Better-Noir.
And I'm Bill Ritter. Nightline's up next. Eyewitness News returns tomorrow morning at 4:30 with Ken Rosado and Lori Stokes, and the latest on the storm that's moving through for the morning commute. For all of us, Rob Powers, Lee Goldberg, the whole team, have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Good night.
Tonight on Nightline, Airport Confidential. When passengers go off the rails, when dogs sniff out a hidden stash, one team rushes to action.
Put your hands up! Put your hands on top of your head!
We bring you the behind-the-scenes drama at one of the biggest airports in the country. And courageous mothers fighting to stop the madness in an American war zone. And two little girls caught in the crossfire. A place where gang members as young as 13 carry automatic weapons. And the death toll of innocent young bystanders is climbing. Plus, Rocket Man, a wild ride with the daredevil trying to set a world record with his water-propelled jetpack. Don't try this at home.
From the global resources of ABC News with Terry Moran, Cynthia McFadden, and Bill Weir in New York City. This is Nightline, October 18th, 2012.
And good evening, I'm Cynthia McFadden. Tonight we begin with a look at airport security and what's on the other side of those security lines. For big crowded airports like Miami International, the pressure of delivering 100,000 stressed out passengers safely to their destination every day makes for no shortage of human drama, as my co-anchor Bill Weir discovered.
Let's say you're on a flight into Miami and the guy next to you comes completely unhinged.
Sir, I need you to take a seat
I
right
paid
now.
a lot of money for this seat. I don't feel like sitting down right now.
While you watch flight attendants struggle for control, what you'll never see, what few ever see, is an airport the size of a small city spring from defense to offense in a blink. Bodies move as word spreads.
All right, guys, Felix, go ahead. It's on you.
From pilot to tower to operations control, where intense eyes flick past the 1,500 camera feeds to find that fortified corner of the runway known as the penalty box. There, while engines whine, guns approach, held by Miami-Dade cops.
Have a rear guard go around.
And since this is an international flight, Customs and Border Patrol.
Put your hands up. What's up? Put your hands on top of your head.
All of us on the plane knew this was practice, but still, hearts pound in moments like this. Embarrassing mistakes can be made. And the fact that MIA officials invited Nightline to watch further proves they are pulling back the curtain down here in unprecedented ways. Airport 24/7 is the first reality show given access to the sort of high and low drama that plays out here every day as 100,000 personalities collide. Cameras are rolling when tempers flare, when drugs are found welded into auto parts, and when arguments erupt over carry-on peanut butter.
It's the size is too large. You can bring a little one, 3.4 ounces or less, but this is too big.
They're rolling when dogs sniff out a suspiciously large stack of cash, when a gun is found in a carry-on bag and a knife is discovered in one man's shoe. All part of the routine in a place that has a small museum of would-be carry-on weaponry.
What was in that person's mind when they walked through our checkpoint?
Lauren Stover is not only the director of security at MIA, she is also the head of PR. And while many in her position might disagree, she sees this kind of publicity as a security tool.
We believe that this is going to show the public what we do for their safety. We're not giving away family secrets.
No?
No.
You're not afraid you're going to tip off the bad guys?
The only thing we want the bad guys to know is we're serious about security, so take it somewhere else.
What they mostly reveal is a relentless game of cat and mouse and dog.
Hey, how are you?
On this day, Tyson is sent out to sniff a cargo plane from Costa Rica full of fish and cilantro. Customs agents know how smugglers mark boxes with innocent-looking numbers, and how a dock worker who sneaks something past the gates can make $5,000. They seized close to 21,000 pounds of drugs last year, but on this day, come up empty. So there's a chance that Tyson might have made a mistake?
The possibility, some things where everything else, canines are just like humans.
Right.
Some things are good, some things are bad.
Meanwhile, in the international terminal, Tyson's stubbier colleagues are trying to head off the kind of plants that could carry devastating crop disease into the U.S. But they've also found a full assortment of oddities over the years, including body parts and fetuses used in Haitian religious rituals.